An Average J Retro production presents this video.
What is up? How is everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing all right. So Cinemassacre had their first podcast that they just put out. Well, not just put out. It's been about a week or so. But they had just put out an episode. It was okay. It was a pretty okay podcast. It was better than I thought it would be. And they touched base on a few things that I found were interesting that I didn't necessarily think they were going to talk about. But one of the things that they brought up first was James brought up the rental review thing, how it's gone away, and I didn't know why they had taken it away, and I actually liked the rental review series. Apparently, it was just too much of a technical, logistical, whatever you want to call it, difficulty with not being all in the same, building or room. And James said they had to do it on Skype, and he said it just got too difficult to try to make it work. So he did say that, it's currently essentially on a hiatus, and it sounds like they're going to bring it back, which is good, because that was one of the things that I liked. And to cut right to the chase, they actually brought up, the topic with Bootsy and the other guys and even Mike. And it kind of sounded like, is it Kyle, I believe it is, and Bootsy, they kind of just, it doesn't sound like they still keep in contact with them. And it sounds like at least the guys in Screenwave really didn't know them or have much interaction with them once they came aboard. Everything seems like it changed, and Bootsy and Kyle are no longer there. And they did bring the topic of Mike up, and I was surprised. It sounds like they are definitely on good terms with Mike. Whatever the separation was, it sounds like it was, mutual, and it wasn't a negative thing. And Mike's doing his thing on YouTube, and mostly seeing him on Twitch. And he's got a pretty big following. His streams go anywhere around 500 to 700 people, and it looks like he's got quite a bit of subs. So he's got a big following. And it was funny that Kieran brought up Mike being on Twitch and talking about how he's on Twitch, and how normally he's only got like 70 viewers in his streams, and that Mike rated him one time with like 700. And I thought part of that comment was essentially to maybe almost giving himself a plug, like, hey, I'm on Twitch also, and kind of like maybe to help boost his numbers when he does stream, because I've seen him on there, and he like he said, usually got around 50 to 70 people. But I kind of thought that was maybe just a little self-promotion, I guess it would be. So, but they are still in good terms with Mike. They did talk a lot about past concerts and things like that, and music, and all that was kind of, it's not really my cup of tea of what I wanted out of a podcast. And I don't mind Kieran. I think Justin probably adds the least as far as input or material on the podcast, I feel like. And more so I watch because I want to hear what James has to say. And more so I look for like behind the scenes type things that, maybe they may bring up in the podcast. So that was mainly the reason why I watched it. More so than, hearing Kieran and Tony talk about going to Dairy Queen or a concert or Ozzy Osbourne. The podcast was better than I expected. I really didn't have much high hopes for it. I thought it was a little bit long. I thought it ran a little bit long. It wasn't too bad, but I was more so tuning in hopes of getting, tidbits of how the channel is going, what's going on with the channel, what plans do they have for future videos or series or things like that. So I don't know if I will get in the habit of watching it whenever it comes on. For the first episode, I thought it was pretty decent. So I would say give it a look and try to skim through it and fast forward through the parts that you're not interested in. I think it's worth a watch, at least just to get a little behind the scenes info that they talk about. With that being said, I am going to sign out, and let me know if you watched the podcast, what you thought of it, what you want to see from it, if any of it was interesting, if you liked it, didn't like it, if you took anything away from it, would you watch it again? And let me know about this video in the comments. If you liked it, didn't like it, Like the channel, don't like the channel, thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, leave me some feedback, and let me know if this is more of something that you would want to see, and what other things you want to see on the channel. And thank you for checking out the video and stopping by, and have a good day.